Hey guys, in today's video, you can learn to create CRUD REST API using Node.js, Express.js, and MongoDB. So let's proceed by creating a new folder. Let me name it to CRUD API. We can simply open this with VS Code. Before proceeding code, make sure you have Node.js and npm installed on your system. If you haven't installed that, you can also watch my video on how you can download them. I have also provided the link of that video on my description below. So first we need to run npm init-y on the terminal. It will simply create the package.json for our node project. And here you can see our package.json file. You can see our project name and it's specifying main to index.js. We also need to install packages, that is express.env and mongoose. And let's also install nodemon. So if we start project using nodemon, it will automatically restart on any kind of changes. We don't have to keep restarting our project. We need to set it up here. Here we can include run script to start. And inside this it would be nodemon index.js. So on running npm start, our project will be started using nodemon. Let's create our index.js file. Now let's import Express. And make an instance of it. Here we will define get HTTP route to check the response from the server. Let's define our port. For that we need to create .env file on the root of the project. Let's mention port value here. I will set it to 3000. To access the environment variables, we need to require .env here and configure it. So let's access port value here using process.env. This line starts the server and establishes the connection on port 3000. We can also give here console message for server running on this port. So now let's run our project with npm start. You can see this console, and we also have set up our route above for the HTTP GET request to the root URL. So in this case, if we run localhost 3000 on the browser, we can see message server is running, which is coming from this response. After this, we can proceed on the mongoose configuration. So let me import mongoose. Now we can open our MongoDB Atlas. And before connecting it to Node.js, you should first create your cluster and database. I had also made a video on how you can create database in MongoDB Atlas. I have also provided the link of that video on my description below. We had completed up to making the network accessible by maintaining the status active. So do watch that video to come to this part. Now here you need to click on connect. You can proceed on connecting to your driver. You need to use this connection string. Here you can also see it's saying to replace password with your actual database password. I had also told you to remember the password of the database user while creating database in the Atlas. So let's copy this and configure it in the backend. In my .env, I will simply paste this in dvuri. So I'm simply gonna use my password. You also need to replace with your saved password. Let's go back to our index.js. We can access that inside this DB. Let's remove this. Now we can connect our DB to Mongoose. For that we can pass DB here. And for success we can give console connected to MongoDB. Then let's include our server part here. For the error you can use catch method. And now let me run the project. We can see we are successfully connected to MongoDB. Now let's proceed on creating schema. Let's create our folder named model. And inside this let's create product model.js. First let's import Mongoose. In Mongoose schema, we will define the structure of our document. For product schema, we can include title, which would be the product name. And also the price. For the price, the type would be number. And the same would be for the quantity. For the quantity, we can set minimum quantity to 1. And let's finally provide the description. For description, we can add minimum length to be of 15. This line creates a collection named products based on the schema. Finally, let's export it. Now we can create another folder named controller. Inside the controller, let's create products controller.js. Here we can set up the routes and functionality. Let's go back to our index.js. We need to use this middleware for passing JSON here. So this middleware passes incoming JSON request and makes the parsed data available in the request.body. In the controller, we need to first import our product model here. We can perform create product method here. For that, we will also be using our product model. So this will create a new product in the database based on the data in the request.body. We can mention status 200 here, and it will simply send back the created product as a JSON. And for the error, we can use catch method. And let's mention status 500 and the error message. Let's export this. We will also be creating our routes. Inside the routes folder, let's create product routes.js. Let's import Express. And also our create product from the controller. This line creates a new router object. We can use post method for our create product, and I am gonna specify its endpoint to create. We will be exporting router here. And back in our index.js, we need to import this route. And here we can give the endpoint for this route, that is API/product. So this middleware will be applied to all our HTTP method. And /API/product is the best path for the routes defined in our router. Now let's run our project. We can now test this in Postman. If you are new to Postman, you can watch my video on how you can install and use Postman. I have also provided the link of that video on my description below. Let's create new collection and name it to CRUD. Here let's go to add request. We can name it to create. and the endpoint should be localhost 3000 /API/product. And for the create path, we have set the path to /create. The HTTP request should be of post. The body should be of raw in JSON format. Here we can set the title to wireless mouse. And let's set price to 500. Let me complete the required fields. The description length should be more than 15. Now let's post this request. And you can see we have status 200 with our created product. You can also see the unique ID for this product. If we go to our MongoDB Atlas and let's click on Browse Collection. And on the products, you can see our newly created product in the form of document. So that means we have successfully inserted our product in the database. And we can also create another product. So now let me name it to gaming headset. Let me also change the price and quantity. And finally the description. And if we post this, you can again see the success response with status 200 and our gaming headset product in the response. And if we again go to our Atlas and reload this, you can see another product being added with the different ID. So that was all for our create operation. Now let's proceed to the read part. For reading operation of product, let me create return products method. And in the catch method, we will simply provide error with status 500. So here find method will fetch all the products from the database. And simply return them as JSON response. So finally we should export our return products method. And back in our product routes.js, we should first import our return products. For the route, we will be using HTTP GET method with its path to /read. And make sure your project is running. Now let's go back to our Postman. Let me add the request and name it to read. This would be our GET request. And the path would be same up to API/product. After that, we should use read path as we have set up read route here. Now we can send this request. And on the response, you can see status 200 with all our created product here. You can see we had created these two products. So that was all for the read part. And let's proceed to our update part. For that, let's create update product function. And in the case, we can just copy from this and paste here. We can here fetch the product ID from the request parameters. First, let's check if the product exists or not. We can use find one method. We can just compare the params ID with the ID of the field in the MongoDB document. In case of such product not existing, we can simply return status 404 with product not found message. So here find by ID and update method updates the product document in the database using provided ID. The request.body will simply contain the updated field, and let's use this new option to return the updated document instead of the old one. And we will send updated data as response with status 200. So we have successfully created our update function. Now let's export it. Let's go back to our products route. First, we need to import our update product here, and we will be using put method for this. And let's mention route to update, and since we are capturing the product ID parameter, we need to use colon and the ID here, which is the ID of the product. And finally, this will be the update method. You can see our project is successfully running. And let's go back to our Postman. We will again add request and name it to update. So this would be put for update, and our route will be localhost 3000 /API /product, and here it should be update. And after this, we should mention the ID of the product that we want to update. Let's go on our read part and let's copy the ID of this product headset. So let me paste the ID here. And on the body, we can copy from the body provided to the headset. And here I will change this title to only headset and price to 500. The quantity would be 1, and in description I will remove this for gaming. And if we send this request, you can see we have the updated data of our product. And if we go to Atlas, you can see this old data for a gaming headset. And if we reload this, you can see the data for this ID with the new updated title, price, quantity and description. So we have successfully updated in database as well. And if we try to update the product with invalid ID, suppose I will replace this F with 3, it will simply send product not found message, since no product with such ID exists. So that was all for our update operation. Now let's proceed on our final operation of CRUD, which is the delete method. We can copy this up to product not found case from the update part. This would be same for delete as well. And let me copy for the error also. We can perform delete by find by ID and delete method. And inside we are just gonna provide the ID of the product. And after the deletion, we can provide message of product successfully deleted. Now let's export our delete product. And in our product route, let's first import our delete method. and we will be using router delete here with the path delete /:id and the delete method. Now let's save this. Make sure your server is running and again go to our Postman. The request will be named to delete. The HTTP method will be changed to delete. Let's provide the path up to delete. Let me simply use the ID of our headset product. And let's first try with the incorrect ID. For now, let me change the 9F to 00. If we send this request, you can see we are getting the product not found message. So the ID should be valid. And now with the correct ID, if we click on send, you can see the success status and the message product successfully deleted. If we go to our Atlas and reload this, we can also see that there is no product headset. We have successfully deleted this product. So that was all for the delete operation. And if we again try to send request for this ID, it will show product not found message because this product is already being deleted from the database. So that was all for the CRUD API in Node.js. In this video, we have successfully implemented CRUD REST API with Express, MongoDB and Node.js. Thank you guys for watching this video.